Hello, this is Mr. Collier, and today we're going to be converting some irregular units, some units of area and volume. Okay, so in this first example, how many hours is 1 hour 45 minutes? Alright, I don't know if I'm going to go through these three steps, so I'm going to do it this way. 1 hour 45 minutes, well I can convert I'm going to convert this bit into hours. So this is 45 minutes. There are 60. Let's just convert this. Okay, let's write that the conversion. 45 minutes, and I want to times it by something to convert to hours. So we can set up a ratio like this. So there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So the minutes cancel. And we get just 45 out of 60 hours, right? Alright, and if you do it on the calculator, you get 3/4 or 0.75 hours. So the entire thing is, well, 1 hour 45 minutes equals 1.75 hours. Okay. Next, life expectancy in Japan is 82.02 years. How many minutes should the average person expect to live? Alright, so we're going to change 82.02 years to minutes. So we multiply by, well, there's 365 days in 1 year, and there's 24 hours in 1 day, and there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. So if I do all this, I should get the right answer. See, the hours cancel, the days cancel, and the years cancel. So I'm just going to multiply all that out on my calculator, and I get 82.02 times 365 times 24 times 60. Okay, and you get this massive number. So that's actually 43 million minutes. So I'm going to say it's approximately 43 million minutes. Okay, if the average heart rate in Japan is 72 beats per minute, how many times should a person's average person's heart beat in one lifetime? So I could do 72 times the number I got from before, which is 43 million. So I'm just going to write that out now. And actually, I'll just use the number on my calculator. So I'll just multiply this answer by 72 and get the most accurate answer possible. So that's about, wow, that's about 3 billion, 3.1 billion. I'm going to say that's approximately 3.1 billion beats. Okay. Next, it takes Melanie 42 minutes to read 1 chapter of a book. How many chapters can she read in 5 hours? So first, maybe I'll change 5 hours to minutes. So 5 times 60, we get 300 minutes. Then you just need to 300 minutes divided by 42, and you'll get how many books you can read. Alright, so that is 300 divided by 42. So she could read about 7 books, or 7 chapters, sorry. Approximately 7 chapters. Okay, next, converting area units. So 1 meter is 100 centimeters. How many square centimeters is in 1 square meter? So you might think it's going to be 100, but if you take a look at it closely, here's 1 square meter, right? But you can also write a meter as 100 centimeters, 100 centimeters. So actually, if you multiply that and get the area, you get 10,000 centimeters. Okay, so it's not times 100, it's times 10,000, which is actually 100 squared. So if you're converting square units, then you square the unit conversion for the one-dimensional units. Okay, so 1 square meter is, yeah, okay, we have 100 centimeters times 100 centimeters, which is 10,000. Alright. Okay, so here we have 9 square meters. We're going to convert to square millimeters. So the first one, they're saying we could write this as maybe 3 meters times 3 meters, like a square. And then we can figure it out this way. So we're going to convert that to millimeters. That's actually, there's going to be 1,000 millimeters in a meter, so it's going to be 3,000 millimeters by 3,000 millimeters. So the area is 3,000 times 3,000, which equals 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 million square meters. Okay? Okay, so how can we do this in one step? Well, 1 square meter equals, now normally when we're converting from meters to centimeters, we need to multiply by 100. But if it's square units, I have to multiply by 100 squared. So that's going to be 10,000. I moved the decimal 4 places, so it's going to be 10,000 square centimeters as we saw before. Normally from square centimeters to square millimeters, I multiply by 10 normally. But since it's square units, I multiply by 10 squared. So I multiply by 100, or it's 100 square millimeters. From kilometers to meters, usually I multiply by 1,000, but since it's square units, I multiply by 1,000 squared, which is a million. There's 1,000,000 square meters in a square kilometer. Okay, let's look at some more examples. Converting volume units. So 1 centimeter is 10 square millimeters. So if I'm doing cubic units, I would not multiply by 10, I'd multiply by 10 cubed, and I get 1,000 cubic millimeters. Now what is the volume of the cube in cubic centimeters? Maybe I should draw a cube here. I guess there's supposed to be one. So I'll say this is, let's say it's 3 by 3 by 3 centimeters. Okay? So the volume is going to be 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27 cubic centimeters. And what's the volume in cubic millimeters? Well, I could just write out 30 times 30, or I could do my 27 cubic centimeters times 1,000, right? Like we saw here, equals 27,000 cubic millimeters. Alright, so there's some general steps. I'm going to skip and just do it directly. We know that normally going from meters to centimeters, we multiply by 100. In this case, we're going to multiply by 100 cubed, which is a million. So 24 cubic meters equals 24 million cubic centimeters. Okay, so we have to look at liters too and see how we can do those. So remember, 1 milliliter equals 1 cubic centimeter. You have to remember that. So 1 liter is actually 1,000 cubic centimeters. Alright, 1 cubic meter is equal to how many cubic centimeters? So normally from meters to centimeters, I normally multiply by 100. But since it's cubic, I multiply by 100 cubed. So it's a million. Cubic centimeter to cubic milliliter, well, normally I multiply by 10, but now I multiply by 10 cubed, which is 1,000. And here normally I'd multiply by 1,000, but now I'll multiply by 1,000 cubed, which is a billion. So it's a billion cubic meters in a cubic kilometer. Okay, so Central Park is 16 square kilometers. How many square meters is this? Well, we can just take cubic to square kilometers. And normally to get from kilometers to meters we multiply by 1,000, so, but I'm going to multiply by 1,000 squared. So that's going to be 16, well that's multiplied by a million, so it's going to be 16 million square meters. Alright, and I should be writing it like this, I suppose. 16 square kilometers times, well there's 1,000 squared square meters and 1 square kilometer, so I'm multiplying by a million and I get this answer. Piece of paper, it has these dimensions. Given that 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters, find the area of one piece of paper in square centimeters. So this might be a lot easier if we change these dimensions to centimeters. So I'm going to do that with the calculator. I'll do 8.5. Let me get this correct over here. So 8.5 times 2.54. So I'll do that. Actually, let me do it another way. Let me just get the area in square inches first. So 8.5 times 11 is going to be 93.5. So this the area of this is 93.5 square inches. Okay, if I wanted to convert to square centimeters, I multiply by, well, there are 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. So in 1 square inch, there's 2.54 squared centimeters. So, sorry, centimeters squared, yeah. Okay, so I will multiply by 2.54 squared. So I'll take that answer I got there and I'll multiply by 2.54 squared. I get 603 well, I'll just round it to 3 step figures, 603 square centimeters. The area of one piece of paper in square millimeters. So 603 square centimeters times, well, how many square millimeters are there in square centimeters? It's not 10, it's going to be 10 squared. So it's going to be 100. So I just need to multiply this number by 100. Okay, well let's move the decimal 2 places. So it'll be 60,322. 60,322 square millimeters. Alright, another example. Jerry's glass occupies this much volume. Jerry pours a 0.33 liter bottle of soda into the glass. How many empty cubic centimeters remain? Okay, so okay, well, let's just change the liters to cubic centimeters, right? You might recall from earlier, well, this is actually, let's change it to milliliters, 330 milliliters. And each milliliter is equal to a cubic centimeter, so it's 330 cubic centimeters. Alright, so how much are left is actually going to be 550 minus that, which equals 170 cubic centimeters. Lauren buys an aquarium tank that has a volume of 0.125 cubic meters. Find the volume in cubic centimeters. So 0.125 cubic meters. Now normally we would multiply by 100 to get to centimeters, but we have to multiply by 100 cubed, which is actually multiplying by a million. So I'm going to do that without a calculator. I just move 6 decimal places. So I moved 3 already, and then 3 more. It's actually 125,000 cubic centimeters. How much water can it hold? Write your answer in liters. So this is equal to 125,000 milliliters. And to write that in liters is 125 liters.